Rats, bats, mice, and mites. Don't let them destroy your home this summer.
This is the Elegant Homes Podcast with your home improvement expert, Don Riley. Don gives you weekly tips on the biggest investment you'll ever make, your home. Plus, Don talks to industry's leading professionals to make your home elegant. The Elegant Homes Podcast with Don Riley is powered by Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
Welcome back to another episode of Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. And you know, the sun is shining and it's about that season. And you know what? Today we're going to talk all about little critters. These critters are coming out in groves, from, groundhogs coming out of the ground to squirrels to raccoons. I just had one of my good friends tell me about all these raccoons on his roof. And then I just seen a video this morning where a guy had 22 rats coming out of his wall, between his garage door and his wall, where they were nesting in there for the winter. So, pets are one thing, rodents are another. And who do you call when you got rodents? Well, we're going to talk all about that today here at the Elegant Home Podcast. And, one of the things that amazes me is how these animals can get in such small cracks, crevices, and holes, right? And you don't really know they're there until the weather starts warming up like it is now, and they start coming out and they start looking around. They're trying to find food. Raccoons are the worst because they get in your attic, they take over, they can chew through electrical wires, they can chew through wood. I mean, there's all kind of damage these little critters can do. So, one of the things I recommend, if you do suspect that you have any kind of raccoon or possum or any kind of animal living in your home, you need to call a pro. And you got to get a pro out there who is trained in trapping these animals and getting them out of your home. And they do it humanely today. A lot of these places, I know, the old country boys, they want to grab the shotgun and take matters in their own hands. But, today you really got to be careful because the last thing you want to do is harm someone in your home or harm someone, neighbor or something, trying to take care of this yourself with shooting them or doing whatever you do. But so I always recommend calling a professional, having them come out, set up cages and capture these animals, these rodents, and get them out of your house. And they will haul them off for you and they'll release them. They do catch and release, which, so we're not going to harm the animals. So for you animal lovers out there, I don't recommend anybody hurting an animal ever. I don't even like killing bugs. So I'm very big on, making sure that animals are protected. And, and raccoons and all these possums and these things, they have their right in nature too and in life. But they don't belong in our homes because we can't live with these rodents. So they do a lot of damage. So I do recommend go through your local residents, whether it's newspaper or if you got social media, get on social media. Everybody Googles everything today. Get on Google, find 3 or 4 pest control companies in the area, have them come out, talk to them, find the one that's going to give you the best deal, and they're going to capture these animals. And then if they have caused damage, then you call guys like us. If they've chewed through wires, or if you want us to come out and check the attic and make sure nothing's damaged, we can get up in the attic and check around and make sure they didn't chew your wires. There's not going to be electrical issues, or, if they didn't eat through walls and you got drywall missing, or, I've seen all kinds of scenarios. It's funny. I had a lady 3-4 years ago, we put a brand new rubber roof on and she had raccoons go up. And they really are attracted to the glue that you put the rubber down with. So they were chewing through her rubber, and the next thing you know, she had a leak in her roof, and we just put a rubber roof on. So these are all things that you got to watch for, because these rodents, these animals, they can cause major, major damage to your home. And even rats, if they get into one box in a basement, they'll go through every box, crevice, hole. They'll destroy stuff. They'll bring food in. So there's a lot of damage they can do. Raccoons in your attic, same thing. Possums, I've seen possum nest in people's homes in little tight attic spaces and have babies. There is a lot of bats that can get in attics, and there is such thing as called a bat mite. They're mites that live on bats, so these can cause havoc to you and your family. I've actually seen them. They actually eat flesh, which is crazy to think about that. But these little mites, they're quite damaging to you and your young family if you have a young family. So anyway, all these things that I'm talking about right now, I want to tell you, reach out to your local professional and get this matter taken in. Take care of it quickly, because you don't want it to multiply. Once these animals start having babies and they multiply, you'll end up like my gentleman I seen on social media this morning, and you'll have 27 rats in your wall. And that's not a fun place to be. If he would have taken care of this, he said he seen one several years ago and he didn't think much about it. And he tried to get to it and he couldn't get to it. Well, the next thing it multiplied. Now, he's got all these rats in his wall. So now he had to cut the whole wall out and all these rats come falling out. So, and of course they have to get rid of them. And so anyway, do yourself a favor, protect you and your family this summer. If you see any animals or any signs of animals, if you see droppings from animals or any of this kind of stuff, get on it, get a professional, come out and check it out. You will make sure, or they will make sure, that your home is safe for years to come for you and your family. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. I'm your host, Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. And when we come back, my good friend, Tony the Toolman, will be right here at the Elegant Home Podcast showing you his next tools, our Italian friend. We'll be right back. Are you looking for that new truck, maybe that new Silverado, or maybe even that new Trail Boss? I'm telling you, those new Trail Boss look really good. You got to stop out and see my good friend Rob Marshall at Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky. Their team is bar none the best. I bought all my vehicles for the Elegant Home Podcast right there, and I'm telling you, these guys get it done. Have you looked at their social media lately? They are shipping vehicles out the door left and right, and I'm telling you, their vehicles are top notch. I love Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky, and I'll tell you why. They treat me and the Elegant Home Podcast like family. So stop out and see Rob and the gang, and they'll take care of you. And make sure you tell them that Don Riley, and I'm going to say it again, Don Riley from the Elegant Home Podcast sent you and your family to Rob Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
The Marshall Auto Group has grown into one of the largest dealer groups in the state of Kentucky, and we're right in your backyard. With locations in Dry Ridge, Crittenden, and Florence, we're convenient and easy to get to. Plus, we have hundreds of new and used vehicles priced to make it worth your drive. We're a family-run business, making us easy to deal with. Come see us. Marshall Dry Ridge Toyota, Marshall Chrysler Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Marshall Motors of Florence, and Marshall Power Sports. The Marshall Auto Group, easy to get to, easy to deal with.
Well, we're back, and we are heading into that segment that we all love. Our good friend Tony the Tool Man is here in the studio with us today, and our Italian friend, he has brought in some really, really cool tools today, and he's going to show us one of them, and I'm so excited. Tony, it is awesome to see you again, my friend.
Hey, I'm Tony the Tool Man. I'd like to show you my pass load 16-gauge finish nailer today. I always talk about unwidely used tools. Finish nailer is one of the most used tools on a job site. You do trim with it, you can build cabinets with it, just about anything, tack boards that you wouldn't necessarily have another hand for. The battery's great, it's small, it's compact, charges quickly, and I usually get about a 4-day charge out of one battery on continuous use. These also have a cartridge that removes and goes in the back. This is, I call it my juice. So the juice basically adds a little extra oomph to get those nails sunk, as opposed to your battery operated nailers. So once the cartridge goes in, and as you can tell, this thing's a little beat up. She's been on the job site for a while, and she's still rolling. It's about 5 years old. So great tool to have. Tony the Tool Man, thanks for letting me share my tools with you, and I'll see you next time from your Italian friend.
Well, Tony, thanks again for bringing in your amazing, amazing tools. Every week, people are excited to see these new tools that you're bringing in and showing us. We love Tony the Tool Man, our Italian friend.
So until next time, this has been the Elegant Home Podcast. I'm Don Riley, your host, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time.